When too much work bogs you down, Asana helps you handle it. That's because Asana is where humans and AI coordinate work together. AI makes it easy to hand off routine tasks, streamline workflows, and keep everyone focused on the work that matters most. That's how work gets handled. That's Asana. Visit us at asana.com. That's ASANA.com.
Firstly, 12:34 is the time. Donald Trump has given another sort of press statement, press conference style thing in the Oval Office tonight. I don't even know what you call them anymore. About some of the rumours concerning his health, because you might have missed them, but there was all sorts of speculation after Donald Trump wasn't seen for a few days that he was dead, that he had died and somehow the US government was covering up. Not the case. He's very much alive and well, reiterating that point in the Oval Office tonight. Simon Marks joins us, LBC's US correspondent, live from Washington, D.C. Simon, a slightly curious spectacle. The incumbent US president saying very much, no, I am here. I haven't died.
Yes, precisely. I mean, just to be clear, this was what the White House describes as an announcement by President Trump. And the announcement, in fact, was not relating to the fact that he's still alive and kicking. It was an announcement about the fact that he's moving the headquarters of the Space Force, that extra branch of the US military that keeps an eye on the skies and prepares to defend us against anything that might emerge from outer space. He's moving the headquarters of that body from Colorado, a Democrat-governed state, to Alabama, a Republican-governed state, and they will be taking all of their toys and all of their jobs with them when they move. But then, once he opened the event up to questions, the president was asked a question by Steve Doocy of Fox News that I think it is fair to say no previous president has ever been asked by any previous White House correspondent.
How did you find out over the weekend that you were dead? You see that?
No.
People didn't see it for a couple days. 1.3 million user engagements as of Saturday morning about your demise.
Really? I didn't see that. You know, I have heard, it's sort of crazy, but last week I did numerous news conferences, all successful. They went very well, like this is going very well. And then I didn't do any for 2 days, and they said, there must be something wrong with him. Biden wouldn't do him for months. You wouldn't see him. And nobody ever said there was ever anything wrong with him, and we know he wasn't in the greatest of shape.
So Donald Trump proving that he's very much still behind the Oval Office desk at the helm and still very much Donald Trump. I think it is worth underscoring that the manner in which those conspiracy theories took wind over the weekend, particularly on Elon Musk's X, coupled with the relentless attacks on the UK government that Mr. Musk is once again launching over his own social media platform, has raised yet more questions about the utility of X as any kind of communications vehicle. But to see these conspiracy theories taking off like wildfire when it was absolutely apparent that Donald Trump had not died. He was out golfing on Saturday and Sunday. He gave an hour-long interview to the Daily Caller, a pro-Trump news outlet, on Friday, and yet in no way was there any restraint attached to the wild theories that caught wind and were popularized to some extent by Democrats who, frankly, could have spent the weekend trying to figure out not how they were going to spread all of these conspiracy theories, but how they were going to position themselves to win a future election so they could take over from Donald Trump, who is still alive and kicking.
It's crazy, isn't it? I mean, it's an absolute case study in how easily this stuff proliferates now, and
yes,
how many people, Simon, are absolutely willing to accept certain theories when all the facts are absolutely on the opposite side of the equation.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, there was nothing people could be shown this weekend that was going to satisfy them. When he went to the golf club, oh no, well, the pictures were taken at a more distant, from a more distant perspective than usual. Then there was nonsense yesterday about Melania Trump being seen walking the halls of Walter Reed Medical Center, which is the Naval Medical Center where presidents often get treated. I mean, Melania Trump was not not seen walking the halls. There was a conspiracy theory, that a traffic camera had been switched off outside Walter Reed Medical Centre in order to cover up activity that was taking place there. And this just completely took off to the point where I think the White House, one of the reasons why they put him up today, beyond the Space Force announcement, which clearly wasn't the most scintillating piece of news he's ever delivered, although very important if you live in Alabama or Colorado, I think they knew they needed to put him up essentially to try and damp all of this down. I mean, he doesn't look great. There's still questions about that bruise on the back of his right hand. It was all made up today. Perhaps he'd been undergoing some treatment for that over the last few days. But also, Ben, he was supposed to be on holiday, and he cancelled his holiday to deal with this purported crime wave on the streets of Washington, D.C. So maybe he just fancied a couple of days away from the cameras. I mean, one of the, he would argue, upsides of his presidency is that he's far and away the most accessible president to the media of the modern era. Yeah. I mean, that cuts both ways with him. But then when he does disappear from view for a couple of days, you know, people start wondering what's going on.
And look, he's entitled to a few days off, isn't he, like all politicians are. Thank you, Simon. As always, Simon Marks, LBC's US correspondent, joining us live from Washington, D.C.
When too much work bogs you down, Asana helps you handle it. That's because Asana is where humans and AI coordinate work together. AI makes it easy to hand off routine tasks, streamline workflows, and keep everyone focused on the work that matters most. That's how work gets handled. That's Asana. Visit us at asana.com. That's ASANA.com.
When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, Allbirds or Skims, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and brilliant marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling, and for the shoppers buying, simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret, with Shop Pay, that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Skims uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/audioboom. All lowercase. Go to shopify.com/audioboom to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/audioboom.